This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. It's November 6th, 2024. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time. And first and foremost, we know who our new president-elect is going to be here in US. Donald J. Trump serving his second term. What has that meant overnight to the market? Well, we can see we've hit new records, new highs in the market. The Dow went up nearly 1,000 points. So clearly that would indicate to some extent that there was certainly excitement in regards to the stock market about his presidency. What does that now mean for us? It means that yes, there will be more eyes towards the market, but it absolutely does not change how we need to trade and what we need to see. So let's start and begin straight away. But before I do, I just need to quickly go over our disclaimer. Before we begin, we must provide a disclaimer that the following information provided is not investment advice. Our methods, teachings, and content are for educational purposes only. All materials and lessons are protected assets of Market Making Strategies LLC. Any plagiarism or sharing of our content is strictly prohibited, and any violator is subject to applicable laws. So, with that being said, let's move on. So, let's get right into it. And we're going to look at first, we're seeing here is Son. Now, off the bat, one thing that we do love about Son, absolutely lovely volume. Trading about 150,000 shares. We can see it's got good volume pattern here. And even when it waned off, we could see this was a form of trigger. What I initially, when I was looking at this stock, because I've been watching it maybe 3 or 4 minutes as the volume started, and I wasn't seeing any type of controlling prints that would set up a situation or a play for us to then create a target off of. In the meantime, I have noticed that we do have these 1150s. So we do have some form of control. My concern with this is apart from those 1150s, if you see, yes, we have a very clear 2 to 3 print personality. That's all it requires within volume. So if I was to plan this trade, I would make sure we understand what we've seen in pre-market because it's kind of traded like a regular stock, and that a 2 3 print personality is all it needs in order to move towards a target. Now, how does the targets work in this? We got to remember this just in pre-market alone is trading $1 increments. So this is a very high level stock. Because why do I say that? Anytime that we've got a stock that's trading within $1 increments, if your entry and your read is not correct, your losses could be significant. So this would be a very high level stock. I would even put this as high as a level, if we were talking in levels 1 being the novice level and 5 being the advanced level, I would honestly put this stock at a level 4 to 5, just because the ability to control risk is completely different in this stock. You would have to be able to accept losses could easily be 25 to 30, 40 cents. So although this has great volume, a thin print personality, and some controlling here at 1150, which it seems to be building on, I would be very mindful about where you are in your trading before attempting to trade this. Now, I'm not here to tell you at all what and how to be as a trader. I'm telling you through my experience that discipline and working your way to that level is very key. So either way, however you trade this, make sure you are well aware of your risks in this, well aware of making sure that you have to have really good reads and entries. But if you really do feel the need that you are ready for this, just lower your shares, trade a lot lower shares, learn how these move. Don't look to be earning on such trades or requiring that. This is possibly a good place to just learn. But for now, we can see that, look, this volume has lowered here. It's come down, waned right off. This trigger that it came up to had to have been some type of control. And the reason I would say that clearly is because we saw controlling prints within that also. So that's actually a big factor to consider. With those 1150s being built upon, the target for that would be naturally $13. Even though we know it's a dollar increment, 13 would be your high, and you can see it hit it twice in pre-market already. So 1150 built upon, got good volume. The first target would be 13. Just remember it's a high level stock. So that is SONN. Now, let's go to PLTR. And the reason I bring in PLTR, because as we know yesterday, it was complete and utter exceptional buying the entire day from pre-market all the way onwards. I've been paying attention to this stock this morning, and I do see profit taken. Understandably, it's moved so far and it's already above 50, so you're going to have people that are taking profits. But I'm also seeing a continuation of a lot of acquiring. So this has the potential to possibly continue on as an exceptional build, and that would easily give us, depending upon the type of controlling prints, because I do not see controlling prints right now, but if we get controlling prints, we have extremely good volume, and we can see that the money flow is continuing on exceptional build, then we can look at how at this at possibly getting to at least 55. If not, I would absolutely not be surprised that it's done nothing but exceptional build. It had lots and lots and lots of big money at 50, 51, 52 yesterday, and it might be getting ready to now stop the exceptional build, and we could easily see this come and build back below 50. So keep that in mind, that with this selling, what is the money flow in open? Are they going to now build back under the massive prints at 50, which it does need to pull back under, or does it even pull to 50 and use that as a new holding level, considering it's had so much fresh buying above 50 also? So for PLTR, if the exceptional continues with controlling prints, so we first need to establish controlling prints with really good volume of money flow, we could easily see a trade, a prolonged trade to 55. If not, let's look for possibly the selling, that it comes back and builds towards 50. But that would require very clear money flow within the substance. So be mindful of that. I would put this down at the bottom of my list. This would absolutely not be anywhere of the first stocks that I look at, but we don't have much on the board, so I added it in just to give us a bit more potential. Arab. This stock I looked at all the way from the morning, and it pretty much traded, because I started watching this above 350. So I was watching all the substance here and here. It was pretty much trading like a regular stock. It had a 2 to 3 print personality. Volume would come in and effectively move it up towards the target. So it would look like it was a regular market stock being traded. Now, there was some prints that were really interesting that stood out to me, and that was at 450 and 460. There was 3 sets of 2 to 3 prints at 50, sporadic, but at 460 there was about 8 to 10 prints, and it was very clear. So between 450 and 460, right there, we can see right after that big print personality and it's capping off of the move, it basically has come under and continued building. We can see it in 380, 379. I can tell you between 4 and 450, I was paying attention, and there was very small build. I wouldn't say it was enough to give me a high conviction that this is going to look to trade, especially as the volume has continually waned off. But we are looking at a stock, either way, that's traded 16 million shares in pre-market. That has gone from 3 to 550. So it's shown it has volume, it's shown it has range, and it's shown it has presence of market makers in there. Those are the concoction that we're looking for. So keep this up. It will definitely need to see an introduction of fresh volume. And for what we have seen in regards to short-term build and 450 and 460 saying short-term, if off when this opens within the first 5 minutes, it should be clear indications that they're looking to go towards that 450 pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see this first bounce of 350, being how well it held in pre-market, and I watched how the prints were pretty clean above it. So I wouldn't be shocked if market opens, it comes right here to 350 around it, and then you want to see a turn. You want to see short-term buying come back in and volume increasing for it to then make its way back up towards our target of 450, where we saw that buying that I pointed out. You don't want 4 to get in the way if that is the strategy that they're going to continue to use that they showed in pre-market. Small print personality within high volume. You want to see 4 add itself to the short-term buying. So for instance, If you saw buying at 388 and it was 2-3 print personality, if you saw it 392, you want 4 to be within that 3 to 4 print personality. So it's basically saying, I'm not here to get in the way and take control. I'm going to participate in the short-term move. So if that becomes the case, you know you got a steady move to 450, which would be a natural attraction, knowing that we had prints there and we had 460 there. So that would be the move there. If you start seeing selling, heavy selling and volume moving towards 350 and below, then you can start realizing that this trade in essence is showing less and less ability to go into any form of trading money time today. Next will be DJT, and obviously we're going to be looking at Donald J. Trump. This stock is absolutely going to have movement today. There will be lots of volume and there'll be lots of volatility. What has stood out this morning? 47. I saw prints at 47 quite a few times this morning. There was a lot of buying in general. We can see it is now going down and it has been building. I've been watching it. So I would be looking at the same type of stuff, clear money flow, even though now, so 47 to 42, that's a very interesting number so far. Why? That's a $5 pullback build of 47. If we were to just upon that base a calculated move, yes, our first target will 100% be 50, but I would never be surprised if it went to 52. So basically buying at 50, exceptional volume, continuation of that phase of hitting targets, and even seeing this possibly for a moment cap at 52 and trade its way back down and build, just because of the calculated move of $5 build and then above 47 to 52. So 50 will always be your first target. So this is a stock, we know this would be your number one stock in regards to the news and the recent activities. But remember one thing, there will be a lot of smart money playing games because they know all of retail is going to try to pile in this thinking that it's going to run to 100. That's the retail mindset. And when the retail mindset comes together and they have a very strong conviction of what they're going to do, that is the perfect storm for market makers. They love that type of interest. They love that type of focus, and they know how to manipulate that. So keep that in mind, that this could actually be very, very clear because of the amount of interest that will come in, or there will be gains. So be patient. So that's DJT. We spoke about Arab, POTR, and SON. That unfortunately is as much as I'm seeing to even consider for today. There was DATS, but it's absolutely not doing anything. There's a lot of, there has been certainly a lot of good volume in it, but it's just sitting there and it's just acquiring and acquiring and acquiring. And what it would take to trade would be ridiculous volume. So keep that on your side list if you want. I just don't have high expectations for that stock. So with that being said, does anybody have any other stocks or questions before we get ready for the open? Okay, so let's get ready for the open. Everybody be patient, plan your trades. I've told you what we should be looking for in all of these stocks. Make a notation. Have two options, as I always teach you. The one that has the high percentage and what the opposite would look like. Always know what the opposite would look like. Why is that? If we say this is a 75% trade, that means you have accepted that it does not work 25% of the time, which also means you need to know what that 25% should look like in the prints in front of you in the stock. That way there are no surprises. So that being said, good luck, and I will speak to you in the room. Thank you very much.